What's up, people? Brother Brian here in the garage today. Good to see you today. Doing well. Got me a stogie going today. Still sober. Oh my God, working on 2 years sobriety, man. I'm real proud of myself. Figured I'd get on here and make a video for you guys, if that's all right. Got a little Ice Mountain water that's warm. I've been picking up a lot of old records here lately, and it's a lot in the house that I've got some back here. I'm not going to show those, like the OJs and some soul funk stuff. Been in the process of cleaning those. Picked up a lot of classical albums. Kind of show you this. Going through a life change right now in my life, man. It's a very exciting time. You know, almost 50 years old, and I'm transitioning once again into my life. I've had two jobs in 23 years. Okay, I've always worked my whole life, and here recently, at work, just been getting so burnt out, just so burnt out with different things. It's just I need a change, and the company I work for, they've got all these young. And I'm not talking about just I'm not targeting young people, but they've got all this new younger people, and most of them are very uneducated and they're very unprofessional. And I'm the type of person I work better in a professional environment. I work better when people are operating on a higher level of education. I don't like to play games. These younger kids, they like to play games. So, I had this situation, and basically I told them to go fuck themselves. Didn't say that. I didn't say that. But, it's like, what? I said, it's time for Brother Brian to take a break. So I took off work. I'm basically unemployed right now. So it's okay, man. That's just how I roll. I'm a very directional type person. I don't let fear doesn't obstruct me. Like I said, I've worked two jobs in 23 years. I'm a good worker. I know who I am. Confident in my abilities. Financially, I'm fine. I'm going to take off the rest of the year. Not even going to attempt to try to find another job until next year because it's the holiday season. Nobody's really going to be, maybe they will be, but I'm not really looking for a job right now. So that's that. Kind of going through a transition. I got up and I looked at them. My subscribers, we're up to 606. The mark of the beast, 666. I'm like, what the hell's that all about? Is that part of the season that I'm dealing with now? The 666 season is what we'll call it, man. But yeah, I got some records here. I picked this one up. I've got a copy of this. This was still in the shrink wrap. And I got it and looked at it, and it looks really nice, condition wise. But it seems like it might have some groove wear, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to play it again in the house. I've been trying to clean it up, and it just sounds distorted, like maybe somebody played this on a cheap turntable. But this is Feliciano. Um, Fantastic album, man. California Dreaming, Light My Fire. Just a little bit of rain, sunny. It's just a fantastic album. I have another copy of this that plays pretty good. I was hoping that this would actually be an upgrade, but I don't think it is. Then we got this one here. This one plays fantastic. It sounds incredible. Spanish music for the classic guitar. I know I see these things anymore, man, and I just don't put them down. I just grab them. I got all these at Goodwill, and look at the condition of this thing. This is just like it's like brand new, and it plays wonderful. You can see the condition, and Non-Such Records is the name of the label. Sounds absolutely incredible. I love this kind of music. It's just very, very good and relaxing music. And this album here, the famous guitar music of Pepe Romero, and this album, and I'm not kidding you, is probably one of the best sound quality albums I've ever heard in my life. I mean, it's like he's sitting there playing the guitar in my living room. It's it's on the old Philips. The old Philips. Look at the condition of this record. It's on the old Philips, man. I don't know how old this thing is. I don't know how old it is, but man, I tell you what, I just absolutely love this record. This album's still in the shrink wrap. I'm trying to see if there's a year on here. But this is just some old music, man. You know, a lot of these songs, they've got the date when they were written 1887 to 1959, 1860s. I mean, but the sound, I'm telling you, this sound quality is just, it's absolutely incredible. Basically, it's like classical acoustic guitars. Very good fun. I probably paid 50 cents for this at the Goodwill. Condition is incredible. And then I picked this up. I might have showed this already. I don't know. Tchaikovsky and Mendelssohn on the violin. And this thing is incredible classical music, man. This is the energy. The energy on this album is incredible. And then I picked this up. This is an old Sons of the Pioneer Tumbleweed Trail. And again, this was an old Goodwill find here. It's another beautiful condition. Look at the condition. It's on the vocal line. These are from Goodwill. Look at the condition. These things are like brand new. Sons of the Pioneer. 50 cents. Love the old country music. The next record I picked up here is it's a record that I have. It's one of the more popular classical albums. You know, I'd say a lot of people have got this album, and I almost didn't buy it because of the condition. I was like, condition wise, I don't know if I want to get it. I almost put it back, but I was like, for 50 cents, why would I put it back? You know what I mean? Why would I not? I mean, for the gamble, 50 cents is not a gamble. Get it, clean it up, see what it sounds like. And that would be Bruno Walters Beethoven Pastorale, the Columbia Symphony Orchestra. As you can see, the condition of this is, like I said, it was rough. I seen it there at the Goodwill, and I just had a hard time leaving it there, right? And I'm kind of glad that I didn't, okay? Because I cleaned it up, and it's got some wear on it. It plays probably like a G to maybe a G plus. I mean, it doesn't skip or anything. I don't know if you can see. You can see that it does have some surface things going on here, but I mean, ultimately, you can see there's a little bit of a, see right there, there's a little bit of something there. Somebody put a sticker on there. This is a mono 6i Columbia Masterworks. It was, might as well say, damn near free. I cleaned it up. I took some time, cleaned it. and it plays decent. Now, I've got a copy of this album. You never know, maybe somebody in the future, they might actually want this record for their collection, and I'll have a copy. And Leonard Bernstein. Now, hopefully, I haven't showed none of these before, but Leonard Bernstein, fantastic, classical here with the Philharmonic Orchestra. Absolutely love classical music. This is on a Columbia 2i. The condition of this is probably a VG. Somewhere probably between a G plus and a VG. And then this one, I don't even know how you say that, but man, the cover was just beautiful. Charles Dutoit, not sure. So the London Digital, so it's a little newer pressing. Played this, it's beautiful music. Now some of these, I haven't got some sleeves. I need to get some sleeves. But then I picked this up, Hated. This is the Hungarian String Quartet. Another beautiful classical album. Eugene Ormandy, the Philharmonica Orchestra. William Walton, Belshazzar's Feast. So I'm thinking this is kind of a classical opera. Now, I haven't played this one yet. I've got this. I haven't played around with this yet. It's a box set. Bach, the Four Suites for Orchestra, and Otto Klemperer in the Philharmonic Orchestra. This is newly recorded in stereo for Angel. And like I said, these were all 50 cents at the Goodwill. Including those, like those R&B and soul, like the OJs and stuff. Those were all really cheap. Those are in worse condition than these. These were actually in pretty good condition. I think a lot of these classicals came out of the same home. Intrabot plays Chopin, the Four Ballads. Killer right here. Did the same artist. Intrabot plays Chopin, the Favorite, Polonaise. These are fantastic condition too, you know. And then here he is again, playing Chopin again. So yeah, I got all those records and more. I got some blues albums. I've got a BB King blues, and some other blues albums as well. I've already cleaned those up and put them in my library, and I didn't feel like digging them back out, so that's why I didn't show them to you. You know, I was debating about even showing these to you because I just know that for whatever reason, a lot of people, they can't really get into the classical scene. And to me, it's like today, it's rainy out. The temperature is cool. It's in the 50s. Turn on the old tubes, man, and just put on some beautiful classical music. I've been doing some research, okay? You guys got an opinion? You know, I'd appreciate it. You know, if you've got a suggestion, I'd appreciate it. But I've been looking at different turntables. I've been thinking about buying a new turntable. I love my Thorns turntable. I'm kind of struggling with this decision, okay? Because I'm pretty happy with what I got. It's not perfect, you know, and I'm kind of at a point in my life where I want to buy like the end game turntable, like a turntable that'll be my last turntable. You know, I'm going to keep all those turntables that I owed, but I want to maybe do an upgrade now. Because now's the time. I got plenty of time. I'm going to be off work from December. I'm going to be off work in January probably. And I want to take some time for myself. And I want to listen to some beautiful music. And I'd like to have a new turntable. Okay. So I've been doing some research on turntables, right? Because, I love audio equipment, man. Audio equipment. And, everybody's got the Regas. I was on Rachel's stream this morning, and I was saying something about the new Riga turntable. I think the name of the turntable was like Name or something. It's Naim. I might be saying that wrong. And they kind of misunderstood me for like I was making fun of Riga turntables when I wasn't making fun of Riga turntables. I think Riga, as far as modern turntables, they make some of the best modern turntables for the money. Okay, for the money, they make some of the best modern turntables. You could go buy a Riga P1 and have, if you're an entry level listener, buy a P1 with a nice, say, Ortofon blue, and you're going to be pretty damn happy with that turntable because it's going to perform flawlessly and it's going to sound really nice. My Thorns, it's the tone arm's the weak spot for that turntable. Okay, it's a little noisy. It's like when it's playing in the grooves, you could hear how it wants to just kind of float around a little bit in the groove. Like maybe it's hard to get the tracking pressure right, or maybe it's trying to pull it or it's losing it or something. But when the music's playing, it plays and it sounds fantastic. So, and when you play like Goodwill records and stuff like this, you're going to hear more blemishes and imperfections, right? So if I keep that and play records and enjoy it, I'm going to have the same experience. I'll be happy. But the thing that scares me is, if I upgrade, say I go out and spend money and I buy a really nice turntable, like a VPI, or I go out and buy a Kuzma, or I buy a Dr. Fikert or something, and then get an upgraded photo stage. Is that going to am I going to be totally disappointed with? So that's what I'm struggling with. It's like, are the imperfections and blemishes going to stand out even more? And I was thinking about it that, I can always just keep my regular rig hooked up right next to it. And if I get like some Goodwill records or something like that I want to play, then I'll play them. But then it's like, well, you go out and spend this money on this new rig. Why are you going to listen to your old rig? So, I mean, it's just I've been battling with this. So that's why I bring it up to you. But anyway, back to the subject of the project or the Rigas. The Rigas make beautiful turntables. But one of the things I was researching, okay, I like a mass turntable. I like a turntable with some mass to it, okay? I would like a VPI with a 20-pound platter. It would suit me probably better. But the problem is they're like huge. They're like this big. Okay? Well, the Rigas are smaller. They're about this big. Okay? So they're not going to take up as much real estate. So, of course, I was looking at some of the Rigas. You got the P1s, the P3s. I really like honestly, I like the P6. They've got a deal going on at Upscale Audio where you could get the turntable, you could get the an upgraded power box, transformer, isolated transformer for your turntable. It's like, $1,800. Now, I don't think that comes with the cartridge. I like the way that it looks. I like the size of it. Now, then you go to the Riga P8, and they do this thing where it's like cut out, right? And I'm not a real big fan of that. Which I'm sure that it's an upgrade. The P8 I'm sure is an upgrade to the P6, but I just don't like the appearance of it. And then they got the P10. It's the same, kind of the same as the 8, where they've got new this new look to it, which I'm not really crazy about. The size of it's nice, but I'm not real crazy about the way that it looks. I hear people out there. It wouldn't surprise me if Daisy's going to go bark at them here in a second. So anyway, I probably won't get a Riga. But they just made this new Riga turntable, and I just thought it was incredible, out of styrofoam. I think it's called the Name, M-A-I-M. I could be saying that wrong, but it's made out of styrofoam. This is wood. Okay, that's wood. This is styrofoam. Big difference. Okay, it's really a genius to make a turntable out of styrofoam. Okay. But to me, it's like, you're going to go out and it's a $10,000 turntable. And I don't think that includes the cartridge. That's just for the turntable with no cartridge on it. It's like $10,000. I think it's a genius making it out of styrofoam, but I don't think that you could, for me, take a turntable, make it out of styrofoam, and then turn around trying to sell it for $10,000. It's like, I don't know. No, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do it. Go to the dollar store and buy you some styrofoam for $1, some pool noodles and stuff. Now they take the styrofoam. Okay, if you go look at the new turntable they got, they take it and they cover it with carbon fiber. Okay, people love the way that carbon fiber looks. They love the way that it sounds. It's a very deadening material. It's quiet. Okay, is what I'm saying. But it's just very, very genius making a turntable out of styrofoam. I always wondered about. That's why I have this styrofoam here. Is if you can see, if I get the light, see right here. I put this underneath my turntable sometimes, and it eliminates a lot of the noise and vibration. Okay, it's wonderful, and it's like, but $10,000, no. So I've been kicking around, looking at different turntables and stuff, different preamps. I'll tell you the preamp I would love to have. The preamp that I would love to have. I've always dreamed about owning one of these. It's the Manley Chinook, because Manley, it's owned by a lady in California. And they name all their equipment after, like, fish. Okay, so you got the Chinook salmon. They've got this other preamp called a Steelhead. They've got amps. Manta Ray, I think, is one of their amps or something. They've got these names, but Manley, they make studio equipment. Okay, which, if you know anything about music, the music starts from the studio. So a lot of the music that you listen to and you enjoy is produced through Manley equipment, microphones and stuff like that. And when it comes to their engineering department, they have a phenomenal engineering department. Their preamps, photo preamps, are renowned for their sound. I mean, anytime that there's a comparison, it's like they want to compare, like, this new preamp. Oh, this new preamp's out on the market. It's $10,000. Well, we're going to compare it to a Manley preamp, either the Steelhead or the Chinook. Okay. So they're always, if you go on there and do some research on photo preamps, you always see the Chinook is being compared to all these other preamps. So to me, it's like, if all these other companies are comparing their preamp to the Chinook, well, it's a no-brainer that the Chinook is what I would want to buy, right? It's a big, beautiful, heavy preamp. And I've heard them before. Their sound quality is phenomenal. I would really love to have a Manley Chinook preamp. But, it's like, well, you'd have to upgrade. If you really want to get the optimal sound out of your equipment, you'd have to upgrade my turntable, because all that imperfection that I've got going in my Thorns would transpose even more into the new upgraded preamp. Now, granted, I'm going to keep my old speakers. I love my JBLs. I'm going to keep those speakers. I just love the way they sound. They're perfect for my room. I've upgraded the crossovers in them. They don't sound like your run-of-the-mill JBLs. They sound, to me, fantastic. And I've heard lots and lots of speakers. I love the way my JBLs sound. I've got plenty of tube gear. I've got plenty of other preamps. I've got all kinds of equipment that I could use with this, mainly. Problem is it's expensive. Okay, so spending that money on a Manley preamp, I would love it, man. To buy a Manley preamp and incorporate that into my life, I think would be wonderful. But like I said, I'd have to do some upgrading on my turntable. Now I thought about getting like a Kuzma, make a beautiful tone arm that would fit into my Thorns. Okay? But I don't know how much sense that makes to take a Kuzma tone arm and put it on my Thorns. I'm not sure how well that would work. It may work wonderful, but it's a gamble therein again. So I'm kind of kicking around the idea of maybe just getting like a VPI turntable. Just getting like a VPI Scout, getting a new cartridge, and maybe getting a new preamp. These are just the things that I've been thinking about. And, like I said, these are things that'll last me the rest of my life. As far as my job goes, I'm going to find another job. I'll tell you right now, there's plenty of places out there right now that need good employees to work. I like to find a job that's closer to my house instead of having to drive down to Dayton. I like to work for a company that does similar type work that's closer to my home. So I'm going to put a little bit more time and effort into my new job. And in my placement in that company, I'm going to make sure that I get a better position as far as, probably working less hours and doing things that I enjoy doing. I was just so burnt out on what I was doing. I need to start doing some fresh things, doing some different things, some things that are more challenging to me. We all get burnt out on our jobs. I've been at that particular company for 18 years. I'm sick of them. They're kind of getting sick of me. It's just time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I told my boss when I left. I said, man, I hope me leaving makes your job better. I hope your job gets smoother and that the environment around here gets better with me being gone. And I wished him well. And I fucking left, And I ain't afraid about it, man, Like I said, I'm confident in my abilities. And who knows, man, I may not even get into the same thing, man. I always joke around with the guys that I work with. I always say, man, I'm going to go get a job at Chipotle's, man. Next time you go into Chipotle's, you're going to see me making burritos. And honest to God, I could do that. If that could pay my bills, going into a company like Chipotle's and putting some fucking beans, man, I would love that, to interact with people and do that. But I just don't think that would pay my bills, especially when you're talking about buying, VPI and Manley gear and shit like that. So anyway, it's kind of a long-winded video. If you guys got any suggestions, I really would like to buy a new turntable. I mean, there's plenty of used ones around here. But if I'm gonna spend, thousands of dollars, I would like to get a box. You know what I'm saying? With something new in the box. I don't want to go and possibly buy, somebody else's VPI hack, where they've got it in there and hacked on it and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyway, appreciate your time. Brother Brian's out of here. You guys have a good week.